guys, it's Matt. Thanks for joining us for our new series, Miracles, the Marvels of Jesus. We're doing this Marvel theme. It's why I've got my Iron Man shirt on. Jesus is the greatest superhero who ever lived. His sacrificial death and resurrection gave us the chance at new life. Jesus also did some amazing miracles in the Bible. And we're going to examine several found in the book of John. Let's do this. Have you ever seen something change right before your eyes? Have you ever seen someone do magic up close? If I gave you this quarter and I told you to hold on to it, would you make sure you held on to it? Don't let go of it? But what happens if you lose it, right? But there it is right here. Or how about this? What if we took this right here, like this? 1, 2, 3, and it just disappears. Oh, that's crazy. Or what about this? Oh, wow, here I am. Easy magic, right? I know, that blew you away. You can't even handle it. This series is based on things changing right in front of the eyes of the onlookers. So let's take a look at Jesus' first miracle. So a little bit of background. Jesus has just called his disciples. He knew things about them that strangers shouldn't know. Like, they were already amazed by this. His disciples believed enough in him that they left everything and everyone that they knew to follow him. Jesus had told him who he was, and he told them what was going to happen, but they hadn't seen the power of God in him. So let's take a look at John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. There was a wedding celebration in the village of Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples were also invited to the celebration. The wine supply ran out during the festivities, so Jesus' mother told him, "They have no more wine." "Dear woman, that's not our problem," Jesus replied. "My time has not come yet." But his mother told the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Standing nearby were 6 stone water jars used for Jewish ceremonial washing. Each could hold 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus told the servants, "Fill the jars with water." When the jars had been filled, he said, "Now dip some out and take it to the master of ceremonies." So the servants followed his instructions. When the master of ceremonies tasted the water, that was now wine, not knowing where it had come from, though, of course, the servants knew, he called the bridegroom over. "A host always serves the best wine first," he said. "Then, when everyone has had their lot to drink, he brings out the less expensive wine. Then, when everyone has had a lot to drink, he brings out the less expensive wine. But you have kept the best until now." This miraculous sign at Cana in Galilee was the first time Jesus revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. I'm relatively new to the superhero genre, but one thing I've noticed is that most superheroes are regular people who have been mutated in some fashion. Whether it's a radioactive spider exposed to gamma rays, put into some test chamber by the government to give you powers, unlocking your mind so you can control multiple dimensions. I just watched Doctor Strange last night. Oh my God, blew me away. The special effects in that movie are amazing. I loved it. From a writer's standpoint, the reason why they make most of them regular people is that us as readers, we can relate to them. It almost makes us feel like, I could be like that. So the question I want you to think about is, why does Jesus need to be fully human and fully God? This is one of those $10 words, and learn this and you will impress everyone. This is called the Hypostatic Union. Jesus being fully God and fully man. Now, we've explained this before, that when we sin, our sin is against other people, but it is also against God. The penalty is a heavenly price. But what can we offer God? What can we pay God? How can we make amends for our sin? It takes something heavenly to pay the price for our sin. But the sin was committed by us humans, so it needs to be a human that pays the price. Jesus meets both of these terms, fully human, but also fully God. He is the only one who can take care of our sins. So Jesus displaying his human side, we see him, he goes to a wedding with his mom and his friends. How much more normal could that be? Now remember, the weddings at that time were not just one day, they would be like 7-day celebrations. It wasn't just one wedding party you went to, it was over a long period of time. Jesus, maybe like you, also has a mom who pushes him, who tries to get him to do things. She's like, do that thing that you do.
Oh, my son Jesus, he can take care of this.
And she's like, do your stuff. And he's like, no, it's not the time, Mom. It's not the time. But again, like us, like normal people, eventually he listens to his mom and he does this miracle. Here's something I want you to think about. What part or parts of Jesus's humanity would be the most interesting for you to witness? Would you be interested to learn about Jesus's humor or his anger or his competitiveness or how he related to girls his age? Like, what is it that would be interesting for you to see the human side of Jesus? I think for me, being someone who likes to tell jokes and likes to be silly, I would want to see more of his humor side. It comes across sometimes in the scriptures. You can see where he's being sarcastic, where he's using really ridiculous examples, and I know that it's coming from a humorous standpoint. When I get to heaven, I'll ask for the Blu-ray and just watch that. The second point is that Jesus uses normal things to perform a miracle. He used these normal ceremonial jars, he used water, and he used regular people to do this. Why not use like bat wings and eye of newt and lizard tail, and he bruised it all up? Then when he performed it, he didn't like cover it over with a tarp, abracadabra, shazam, or some other kind of magic words. There was no smoke, there was no laser show, there was no big reveal, there was no music. He just did it. Think about the people that Jesus used. Normal people, regular people. Why is this important? And what kind of task did he ask them to do? He asked them to do simple tasks, and then a miracle happened. Put water in a jar, and then serve some of it. And that's it. So what does that teach us? It tells us don't just sit around waiting for a miracle. Okay, God, I'm waiting for this huge sign from heaven. Show me this miracle. And we're waiting for like the sky to explode into fireworks and this amazing sign to be written. And miracles happen when we just obey God and do the regular things that he tells us to do. My whole life growing up, I played baseball. One of the things they would always tell us is, don't try to hit home runs. Just hit the ball solid, hit the ball hard, and good things will happen. Home runs will happen automatically, but you don't aim for home runs, you aim to hit the ball hard. Now, that's kind of changed today with launch angle and all of that. Guys are really trying to hit home runs, and we've seen their batting average just plummet. They're hitting more home runs, but they're not getting it on base as much. I really think it would do baseball some good if we went back to just trying to hit the ball hard. The third point is that Jesus performs this miracle in public. This is so important because the people there who don't know anything about Jesus and his disciples who are just getting to know him, they see the power of God in Jesus, and they're gonna talk about it. The word's gonna spread to other people. It's Jesus, dude, man, did you see what he did? He took water and he turned it into wine. He turned it into the best wine. A changed life is a miracle that happens right in front of us. Can you think of someone in your life who completely changed after turning their life over to God? Someone who you knew and they were one way, and now they're completely different because God has changed their life. As I said, I just watched the movie Doctor Strange, and I saw so many parallels with the Christian life. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to use some of these examples. Doctor Strange was completely selfish, completely narcissistic, only thinking about himself and his own advancement, and he was completely unbelieving. And he yells and screams at the Ancient One that none of this exists, that belief doesn't exist, and then she shows him the truth, and he sees that it's real, and he changes. And then by the time he runs into his girlfriend again later, he's totally different. He's less selfish. He doesn't even want to be a surgeon anymore because he realizes there's a greater cause for him to fight for. And I thought, wow, this is like the Christian life. Jesus enters into your life and he changes you from the inside out. He makes you new. He gives you new desires as long as we give in to his will and his plan for our life. The fourth point is Jesus saves the best for last. Why was everyone so blown away by this new wine getting better? Well, because traditionally the host would serve the best wine first when everybody is sober, and by the time they've drank enough, you give them anything cheap.
This is the best wine ever.
And in this wedding party, they're going, man, this wine is even better than the first wine. So what's the significance of Jesus saving the best for last? How does that relate to our life? People who don't know Jesus, they think this life is it, and this is as good as it's going to get. But with Jesus, we are promised an even better life. And I love my life. I think there's a beautiful world and there's so much to see and do, but Jesus has promised us an even better life. A perfect life in paradise. A party, vacation, family reunion, camp experience, celebration that never ends. All of the best parts of life with none of the bad, and it never ends. Man, that's what I'm looking forward to. With Jesus, he has saved the best for last. The fifth point is that Jesus' first miracle caused his disciples to believe. His disciples already followed him. Like, they already had some belief in him, but they hadn't seen this side of him. Jesus does this miracle, and it says that their faith increased in him. Think about Jesus doing his miracles. When did he do them, and why did he do them? Did Jesus ever do miracles just to flex on somebody? Just to show them how amazing he was? No. It was always to increase someone's faith. And if he knew that they weren't going to change, he didn't do them. He never did them just to show,
Look at this. I can make fireballs. I can change dimensions.
he never did it just for showing off. It was always to point people back to God. It says Jesus revealed his glory and his disciples believed in him. Here's something I want you to know about your life. Your life reveals God's glory also. You are supposed to be a living example of what a changed life by God looks like. It should point others back to Jesus. You are the living miracle that people see every day. Next week's miracle, Jesus feeds the 5,000. Hope to see you then.